Hey traders, this is Ron Haydat, Market Tamer. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are having a great day. As always, nothing in this presentation shall constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Trading stocks and options involves a risk, and specific financial issues should always be addressed by your financial advisor. Markets were up again today. However, they came well off their highs. The SPY finished up almost 1%, closed at 295.66. It is a new all-time closing high. This is a breakout, but again, it did come off the absolute highs of the day. Intraday, if you look, the high was 296.92. It was almost at 297, so pretty impressive. We take a look at DIA, which are the diamonds, up about half that, 0.42%. It did not finish the day above all previous highs, but if we look at the close from 620 to 67.44, 10, 17, we did get new all-time closing highs. With that said, the Qs, they were up 1.35% on probably semiconductor Huawei, if that's how you say it, Huawei news, but they did not hit new all-time closing highs. As a result, the semis had a good day, up almost 3%. Again, well off the highs. They were up above 115. Their high was almost 116, closed at 113. So even though there was a spike in volume, there was some selling pressure. The upside target, nonetheless, would be new all-time highs right there around 120. Individual names. One in particular is MCHP. This one closed near the highs of the day, up over 5%. It was playing around with the 50-day moving average in orange. We gap up, close the highs of the day. A gap fill is pretty much the target, so $100, still about 10% higher. Taiwan Semi also had a really nice move, 5.64%. Big volume, came off its highs though. Doesn't quite look as good as MCHP, but its upside target 44, about 8% higher or so. How about Intel? Just picking out some different names. It was only up 0.38%, and it did not close above the 50-day, the 200-day in orange. It did close above the 50-day in orange, but it did not the 200-day in purple. So if it can do that, get back above that purple line, the target would be up here to 53 and then up to 57. Interesting upside potential in Intel, but it just didn't do very much today. And here is Skyworks. They were up 6%, again off the highs of the day, but the target would be back up there, probably 90, 92.50. You put all those together, I personally like MCHP the best based on the technical aspect, closing at the highs of the day and a pretty easy visual technical target of 100. Now, Wynn and Las Vegas Sands were in the news. I was reading a report that the Macau revenues are looking more positive than I guess first thought. It got up to almost 135, 134.98 before it rolled over and finished near the lows of the day, but still up almost 6%. This is a breakout as well. It would be awesome if it finished near the highs of the day, but the target gap filled to 145 and then up near 150. LVS, Las Vegas Sands, up almost 5%, pickup in volume. Target gap fill up there at 67, about 10% higher. UTHR is a seasonally bullish stock, and it's starting to make its turn here. Over the upcoming weeks, this stock moves higher 75, 80% of the time. So it has a nice high probability. After seeing such a long decline, we're getting a move up to the upside today, closing above the 20-day EMA in red. Now, if we can also close above the 50-day, that would also signal a breakout, and getting above a key institutional line is always a positive for the bulls. Where would upside targets be? I mean, even with today's move, there's a little bit of consolidation around 100. That's $18 higher. Then there's a little bit of resistance at 105. Then you have the 200-day, and then all the way back up to 120. So considerable upside technical targets. Does not mean it's going to get there, but this is the first sign in potentially changing that trend as we close above the 20-day EMA on a slight rise in volume. How about TLRY? I get asked about pot stocks from time to time. Look what's happening here. This is a nice big volume move up, pull back to fill the gap, big volume move up, light volume, and today we popped higher. This is a nice stair-step pattern, a little mini bull flag action, nice little hook action. Resistance, I mean, maybe 52.50, there's a little bit, but then you're talking about maybe somewhere all the way up here in the 70s. Just like UTHR, not saying it's going to get there, but seeing this type of volume right there, that's a positive sign for the bulls. If I was a bear on TLRY, you would have taken notice already with the volume spikes on 619 and 620. By the end of the day on 620, if you're a bear, your short-term momentum is toast. Now it was nice light volume consolidation and a larger volume pop higher. And really quickly, I'll cover GLD and gold and silver. Here the volume came in, we popped for the 50-day, always a good sign. But before this could really be believed as a potential move, we had to take out a major, or at least somewhat of a major swing high, which is right here. This was the last big one, around 127. We did that, shoots right up to 135. Now we're already back at 130. There's a gap to be filled right around 127.50. There's also the 20-day EMA in there. When I see something like this where the 20-day is standing in its way, if I were to close below that, if the stock were to close below that, I should say, the bulls lose their edge. Maybe the gap fill holds support, but the fact that 20-day would be broken is more of a canary in the coal mine than the actual gap fill. So again, I would want to watch the 20-day EMA here in red. And then if I look at silver, it never really did rally quite as much as gold. Right now, this is still somewhat of an organized pullback, which is interesting. If it gets below the red line, then this goose is cooked as well. The bulls lose their edge. And finally, gold miners. Down almost 4% today. They're already into the gap. Target 20-day EMA, which ties in with the gap. That's very interesting when you get that confluence. So if we close below 24 bucks, its goose is cooked too from the bullish side. Next downside target would be all the way down at 22. If the 20-day holds, we get a nice bounce right back up to the highs would be the target. That goes for gold and silver as well. Now that is it. Wish you guys a fantastic rest of the week. We'll see you in the next video.